Welcome to the Gold and Blue Lunch Report, everybody. I'm Allan Taylor, wrapping up in Waco after West Virginia's 62-38 loss to Baylor. The Mountaineers leave here as a 500 team overall and still winless in Big 12 play at 0-3. As you know, Monday means it's time to take stock, so let's evaluate the game unit by unit. We always start with the quarterbacks, and Skylar Howard's first throw of the day turned out to be West Virginia's longest play from scrimmage this season. Woo boy, we got ourselves a shootout. Well, the Mountaineers kept pace for a little while, and Howard tossed a career-high 4 touchdowns. He also underthrew this third down deep ball for Shelton Gibson, which became an interception. Now, Howard had the first down if he had run it, had a touchdown had he thrown it properly, but he did neither, and the Mountaineers got nothing. He finished the day only 18 of 37, a ton of those incompletions on deep balls. Dana Holgorsen lamenting before the game that he wanted more from the intermediate passing game, but that was almost non-existent. Howard did make a few plays with his legs, but he's now 4-4 as a starter at West Virginia, and nothing says neutral like a 500 record. Wendell Smallwood's string of 100-yard rushing games ended at 3, though he still put up 82 yards on only 12 carries. Most of those came on this 52-yard run right before the half. A career long that could have been longer if not for a tight ankle. Russell Shell got more carries because he's healthy, but netted only 3.1 yards per rush. And for the first time this season, West Virginia was held without a rushing touchdown. But there was a receiving touchdown by Cody Clay, who can thank Eli Wellman for drawing the defense in on this one. Running backs get a neutral. We planned on the Shelton Gibson Speed Racer experience, but we didn't plan for the David Sills deep ball delight. What in the name of scout team quarterbacks is going on here? The true freshman is a redshirt no more, and Holgorsen says Sills can help the team more by catching passes in games rather than throwing them in practice. Looked pretty good for his first college game. Another first, Karan White's first catch. Welcome to the stat book, Karan. He looks so much like his big brother Kevin that Baylor even interfered with him. But no one interfered with Shelton Gibson on this one, or even after the catch. That Baylor defense gave up 530 yards passing to Texas Tech, and on plays like this, we saw why, and on plays like this by Jordan Thompson. But Jovan Durant was unable to join the party. The freshman only received 4 targets and was held without a catch for the first time this season, though he did draw a pass interference flag. West Virginia's offensive line allowed only 1 sack, so the protection looked adequate. But Baylor had 10 quarterback hurries, so there were leaks. A couple of penalties were critical too. This chop block on Kyle Bosch and Tyler Orlovsky, call it the Boschlovsky chop, ruined a red zone chance. And when Adam Pankey pulled out of the garage early on 4th and 1, it led to a failed 4th and 6. Another big sequence here in the red zone, when the O-line couldn't get any movement on 3 straight runs, and West Virginia had to settle for a field goal. With Yodny Kajust injured twice on the same foot injury, the rotation was shorthanded and allowed 10 tackles for loss. 3 of those by Mr. Billings, who lived up to his billing. Neutral for the offensive line. That Baylor offense, so balanced, so dangerous in so many ways, and it hurt West Virginia in virtually all of them, including 6.1 yards per carry. The Bears ran for 304 total, the 6th time during the Big 12 era that West Virginia has given up 300 on the ground. Not surprisingly, the Mountaineers have lost all 6 of those. And how about the option fakes from Seth Russell? Noble Wachukwu asked, which way did he Wachukwu? Long day for the D-line. Plenty of blame to go around for Russell running wild. Several linebackers said they were surprised by the quarterback's speed, and apparently they were surprised by his ball handling too. He had the backers guessing wrong all day. Russell went for 160 on only 14 carries. RG3 would have been proud, Pat White would have been jealous. And unlike last year when West Virginia's blitzers pummeled Bryce Petty, they only sacked Russell once. Shaq Pettaway led the unit with 8 tackles, but Baylor put up 693 yards, the 3rd most allowed by West Virginia during the Holgorsen era. Tony Gibson said it wasn't fair to leave Darryl Worley on an island, but he had no choice, didn't want to die a slow death playing zone. So at least it was a fast death. And when Worley thought he had help deep, well, the help didn't always come, at least not here. Safety Jared Harper figuring out the hard way that Baylor's receivers are a little bit faster than Oklahoma State's. And about that Coleman guy, 10 catches for 199 yards and 3 touchdowns. If he stays healthy, Coleman could obliterate the FBS single-season touchdown mark. We're awaiting word on the health of Terrell Chestnut, who exited with a left arm injury. Second year in a row, he's been knocked out by Baylor. One of Chestnut's stand-ins, Rasul Douglas, welcome to Waco, and welcome to Corey Coleman's highlight tape. Jay Lee, he's working on a highlight tape of his own. And guess what, KJ Dillon? You're on it with this missed tackle. This Baylor group makes defenders look plumb silly in the open field, and West Virginia can attest firsthand. We end on special teams, and Josh Lambert's perfect streak from inside of 40, it ends as well. This wide right miss sent West Virginia into the halftime locker room on a low note. But if you stuck around for the very end, you were rewarded with dueling kick returns. Shelton Gibson declines Jovan Durant's invitation to down it in the end zone, says let's take it to the other end zone. Durant with a big boy block, making use of those 165 pounds, and Gibson goes wild like a blister in the sun, goes 100 yards, the 9th 100-yard kick return in Mountaineers history. But then it was Chris Platt's turn for Baylor. The freshman had only one prior return for 22 yards, got a lot more on this one. The kid was a Texas state champion in the 400 meters, but he probably didn't have to carry a football on the track, which explains why he's brought down by a couple of reserve linebackers on this one. They're a happy bunch on the Baylor sideline, and on the West Virginia side, not so much. Transitioning now from a Mountaineers football team that is winless in the Big 12 to the West Virginia women's soccer team, which is unbeaten in league play. Nikki Izzo Brown's squad defeated Iowa State 4-0 on Sunday, improving to 5-0-1 in conference, 14-1-1 overall. Combined Sunday's win with Friday night's 6-0 victory over Kansas, and it was a 10-0 weekend for the Mountaineers, who are ranked number 2 nationally. Stay logged on to WVMetroNews.com for continuing coverage of Mountaineers athletics. I'm Allan Taylor for the Gold and Blue Lunch Report. Let's cue the horns.